Well, there we go. We are about to start the video. Happy New Year to everyone. It's time I do it again. Oh man. We are going to have a look at how I went with last year's predictions. Alrighty, let's start it. Well, that's one heck of a way to start the video. Some of you may remember that way back in maybe even early December, I made a complete ass of myself. I really did. I decided this video should be a two-parter, so it'll be the predictions I made back in 2023. So that's what I ended up with, and then we will do the predictions for 2025 after. So sit back, get some popcorn, because this is going to be a 1 hour extravaganza. Who knows? So to start off with, we will start off with how I went with the ladder. And yeah, so I had Melbourne Storm coming first. Did I? No, I didn't. I had them coming 10th. Honestly, I just wasn't thinking straight. I'll just say that. Okay, this is actually in contrast. This is talking about the year prior. We want to skip that. We actually want to get to... Oh my God. All right, is this where it actually starts? So to start off with... Here we go. Just making sure I've got all the teams. I have. That's supposed to be Redcliffe there. We will start off with Penrith. So we've got grand final at the top, 1 to 4, 5 to 8. To start off with, the Penrith Panthers will make top 4. They didn't. They came 7th. Everyone thought they would make the top 4 this year. Sorry, top four last year, or even finish second again. And obviously, it wasn't to be. It was crazy though. They were on the bottom for a considerable amount of time. They were like, I don't know, 2 and 6 at one stage or something, and then they just shot up. Incredible. Quite remarkable, really. What a crazy year for them. Obviously, they were just points away from being in yet another grand final. But, yeah, Penrith finished 7th. Crazy stuff, man. Now the question is, do they do what they've been doing for the last 3 years or so, and that is to make the top 2? I don't know. They've won 4 premierships in a row. They have got an unbelievable squad. They have lost Luai to the Tigers, Taruva to the Tigers, but they get some fantastic players. They get Isaiah Papali'i, Blaze Talangi. I don't think who else they get. They get some fantastic players. And this is what's deciphering me, whether I should put them in the 2 or not. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave them in the 2. I will leave them at second. I almost thought about moving them to third, but I don't know. I'll stick with it. Will they make it a 5-peat? See, I don't know, and I'm not so sure. But when I say that, they could do it just like that. Well, we'll decide who makes the grand final later. We'll put Penrith second. Melbourne. Now, I'm going to be careful this time. I'm not going to put them in 10th. They will make the 8. Now, they finished as minor premiers this year. They made the grand final. Their best player of the year, Jerome Hughes, winning the Dally M. Yeah, this should be Craig Bellamy's last season as coach.
Nope.
At least I'm aware of it.
Still going, still coaching. Surely this is the last year he coaches Melbourne. It has to be. He has to. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, he's been coaching them for almost 25 years now. Bloody hell.
Could coach another season. Do I? Yeah, I may as well.
Yeah, honestly, that is probably the best one we've got to start off. Melbourne finished second. I had them as minor premiers, so only 1 point off. I'll take that. Once again, had a very dominant season. There were a few matches where they, I guess, sort of exposed themselves. And of course, they made it to the grand final yet again, and it was a spectacle to behold. It was awesome. It was a fantastic grand final between 2 quality opposition sides. And now, of course, there is a lot to unravel. But of course, we'll get to that a little bit later on. We've still got to get through my own reaction to all this. So we just have to wait a bit.
I think, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but honestly, it is Melbourne. They won't finish out of the 8. No. I wish that happened, but it won't. Melbourne to make back-to-back minor premier appearances, and who knows, hopefully not win the grand final, but
thank fuck they didn't.
There you go. My team, Sydney. I honestly don't know. It could be an either or. It could be 4th. I don't know about 3rd again. You know what?
I was right on that part.
Yeah. Should I? I think I will. I'm going to give Sydney, my team, I'm going to give them 5th. I don't know what it is.
Not amazing. Not the worst. 3 points off? Obviously, we finished 8th. We literally made the 8. Literally. But really, it was to no avail. I don't understand it. Like, we finished off the season really strong, just like we had done in previous seasons. I think on like a 5-game winning streak or something, beating Melbourne 40-10. I did not see that coming. Teddy being Dally M Player of the Year, his best season since 2019, that and 2021. But just as a whole, it it was an up and down season. Like, we had good games, but I mean, at home, we lose to the Titans, we lose to Canberra again, we lose to Melbourne, Brisbane 50-14. Fuck, I seriously thought that game was just gonna destroy us mentally, physically, pretty much every emotion you can think of. Obviously, we found a way. But like we rock up to the finals playing Cronulla at PointsBet Stadium, and we don't even show up. We lose 30-12, and that's it. We honestly, we chase our tail between our legs. Just so disappointing. I don't know what's going to be in store for this year for Sydney, but I don't have high hopes. I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway.
I do this every year. I always have these weird, I don't know what it is. Got a good squad, very good squad. Just some of those injuries have been annoying, you know. Had a very good season, made a preliminary final. Been a while since we've done that. Not to say like it's a drought or anything, but it's always nice. Obviously, it was pretty forgetful. And I'm going to be honest. Even if we did win that grand final, if we did win that preliminary final, I honestly would not give a shit.
Yep.
Playing Penrith. If Penrith won, honestly, you commend them. Sydney.
Yep, there's no arguments there. They did it to us in 2003. It would sting, no doubt about it, but you got to just applaud them. What more can you say? How can you get angry at a team like that? How? You just can't. Especially if you support Easts. We've lost to them before so many times. We know what it feels like. It just doesn't matter.
You commend them for the effort for making a grand final again. Oh, God. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to give Sydney 5th, I think. I want to give them 4th, I really do, but no.
Next part. Is it the next part? No, it's not. Here's the next part. Here we are.
I've no idea what happened there. The video just cut out, so now I have to record another part. Manly Eagles. Good team. Good coach.
Oh boy.
6th? Do I? You know what? Yeah.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
do it. Manly to finish 4th.
Yeah, I'm going to pause this. Oh boy. Oh. Man, so many people had them for the 8, possibly top 4. Perhaps I fell into my own trap. I don't know. But yeah, so many things just didn't work out. DC obviously going to East. Oh, man, I still can't get over that. Huge shock. But boy. Oh, that might be the worst one to start off with. Let's see here. Yeah, they finished 10th. So yeah, 6 points off. Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's a shocker. Oh, that's terrible. Man, I should have just shut my mouth about Manly this season, honestly. Because, boy. Yeah, not a great season. I think we're just going to move on from that.
Top 4, last time I made the top 4 was 2021. think they're a solid top 4 side. I really do.
They weren't.
And lot of positives to look at.
They really weren't.
I think they'll have a strong season, Manly. Yeah, I'm going to give them 4th. I think they're going to be a really good team again. They could even go further. Premiership?
No.
Who knows?
No.
They're one of those teams that you're not so sure about, but they're hovering, you know? They're hovering around and anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that could be the same with quite a few teams.
Canterbury, here we go.
Canterbury. I think Canterbury will make the 8 again.
I got that right, like a lot of other people.
But I'm not so sure on where they're going to finish. Because they had a very good season last year. They had a season which nobody saw coming.
Yeah, that's agreed
even
upon.
Me. But they made the finals, but they didn't get to win a final. But that's not going to drag them down. It's not. Got a very good roster, very good coach. That leaves the question: how well are they going to go this year? I almost want to move them, not out of the 8. I keep thinking about moving them into the top 4, but I don't know. Are they that good? I'm gonna leave them for now. I'll come back. Newcastle 7th. Could move them up a tad further. I'm going to leave them 7.
Pause. Absolutely shocking. Yeah, I don't know how many people put them in the 8. I put them in the 8, and boy, did I... Oh, okay, yep. Right now, this is the worst one. What, 10 points off? 10 points off, yep. Finishing, obviously, as wooden spooners. 6 wins and 19 losses or something? 20 losses? It might have even been like 5 wins. But awful season. They conceded over 300 points. I think negative 300 in their points deficit. They finished off the season so poorly. Boy, it was so forgetful. It really was. They got some big scalps here and there, beating Penrith and Bathurst. That was a deplorable game to watch as a neutral. But, yeah, man, you ask... Dominic Young wants to come back to the Knights because, I don't know, there's just something not working at Easts, which is annoying. And he has a season to forget going back to his old club. And now their coach is now gone. There is a lot to talk about this coming season for Newcastle. It was forgetful. I had no idea they'd finished that low. I seriously thought this could be a chance they make the 8 again. Will they do any damage? I'm not so sure, and clearly they didn't. But yeah, that was a shocking tip by me. And I guess I'm not the only one, but man, I don't know what I was thinking. Well, there you go. Just shows how much I know, eh?
Had a pretty interesting season last year. I said they'd finish 8th. They made 8. They got knocked out, but it was a good game. Well, actually, it was
a BS game,
to be honest, against the Cowboys. But never mind that. The future, looking ahead for the Knights this year. Still got Adam O'Brien.
Not anymore.
But they lose Daniel Saifidi and Leo Thompson. Kind of bummed.
I thought Leo Thompson had left. he was still at Newcastle during that season. He's gone to Canterbury, I believe. He'll be playing for Canterbury this year, if I'm not mistaken.
About that, I'm not going to lie, especially with Saifidi. I actually don't mind him. Daniel,
Now I hate him.
Was it Daniel or Joe? I think it was Daniel and Saifidi. It's actually not that bad. And now I don't like him for joining that fake club. Anyway. Yeah, honestly, anything's possible for the Knights.
It really wasn't.
I think they'll make the 8 again.
Man.
I'll stick with 7. Yeah, honestly, I'll say that one. Now this one, I don't know. Have I fell into a trap?
South.
Because
I fell into a trap, all right.
now I'm not so sure. See, they've got a new coach, Wayne Bennett. I'm sorry, I'm not interested in that. I do not care about the whole Bennett thing. I don't. I never really liked him. But what I am going to talk
Should
about
retire.
that does. Well, okay, maybe there's a chance. Is the playing squad. Now, the players that have left, that are Damien Cook off to St George, Tom Burgess, who had retired.
Yeah, no one cares.
Off to the Super League.
Yep, no one cares.
Damien Cook wasn't that great this year,
No,
was
he really wasn't.
But he is a bit of a vital cog to the, sort of that spine, I suppose, of the Rabbitohs this season. So, I don't know. I'm gonna do it. I will leave them at 8, but
Awful. Where did they actually finish? They finished 14th. 6 positions off. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I really did fall into a trap, as I said. Obviously had a huge injury list. One of the biggest injury lists I've ever seen in a season of Rugby League. But yeah, they had some good wins here and there. They beat Sydney away. Well, they beat Sydney. They beat Sydney in Homebush on their home turf, which was annoying because that was debatable. Actually, it wasn't debatable. It was clearly a forward pass from Latrell. But other than that, it wasn't that memorable. It was a pretty forgetful season. They got some not so big. Well, their win over Brisbane was pretty crazy. Latrell scoring the try and kicking that 40-metre field goal in the rain. That was such a weird game. Other than that, there wasn't much really to write home about. They got to enjoy the end of the season with like a 40-point drubbing over the Dragons and what have you. So, they got to enjoy those wins, but really, it just wasn't that good of a season. It was pretty forgetful. And, once again, just like with Newcastle and Manly and that, I don't know what's in store for Souths this year, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, moving on.
I have no confidence because I know what happened last year, and I have a feeling it could happen again. But I don't think they'll finish 16th again. I think they'll finish a little bit higher.
I did, technically.
Yeah, I've given them 8. I know. I question myself sometimes.
I should. I certainly do.
On to the next team, the Titans. They're going to be a team that could be hovering around that mark. And then they could also be a team that, I don't know, you can't really get a read on them, can you? But the Titans. The Titans, where will they finish?
Awful.
Well, I've given them 9th, and I gave them last year. I gave them 14. I don't think they'll finish that low. They've got some great players. Alefiana Camperera, Keanu Kinney, Fafita, Jacob Fafita.
Fafita's gone to
They've got
Souths.
some really strong backs and that. So, with that being said, the Titans, I'll give them 9th, but I tell you what, I think they'll be hovering around that mark to make the 8. I really do.
They really didn't. They came 16th, so 7 points off with that one. 7 positions off. Yeah, they beat Sydney away. That was really annoying. They beat Newcastle, I think, home and away. I think for the first time since 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So almost a decade. But apart from that, it was nothing. Nothing really to be proud about. Obviously, Kieran Foran retiring from the game. David Fafita leaving now. They will get. There was talks that Matthew Johns could be coaching the Titans this year, but really that sounds like a rumour. I think Holbrook might be making a return, who was assistant coach at Easts. So maybe that might help them, maybe it might not, who knows. But apart from that, it wasn't that great a season, really, was it, for the Gold Coast Titans, and well, we'll see what's in store for them this year.
So I'll give them 9. But, I mean, that's a good thing. This could suddenly become this.
It really didn't.
This, or even, I don't know. Next one. I think this is fair.
Man, what was I smoking? Obviously, finished in the top 4, won the grand final, 6 places off, slightly better than the Titans one, but still, I mean, I gave them 10th. I don't know what I was thinking. Michael Maguire, who helped the Blues win Origin the year prior, and just what he had done with the Broncos after what he'd been given so much crap coaching at the Tigers before, and, of course, helping Souths win their first ever premiership since 71. Man, awful by me, awful by whoever put them there. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some Bronx fans who decided to put their side around that mark, but honestly, I had no idea they would do this well. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They had a really strong season. There were a few games where they were exposed, but really, they shone. They really did. They beat Melbourne, I think, in the final round of the regular season at home for the first time since 2010. Was it? Yeah, 2010. So they'd broken, a 15-year losing streak against the Storm. And of course, they beat them in the grand final for the first time since 2006, breaking almost a 20-year drought. So that was another thing to talk about. But they had a crazy season, the Broncos, and they deserved to win the grand final and finish in the top 4. Once again, I should just shut my mouth with this stuff, honestly.
There's a lot of pressure on Michael Maguire, right? Phenomenal Origin victory for New South Wales, winning the series 2-1 at Suncorp for the first time in 19 years. But after him leaving, and now New South Wales getting an old friend of ours, Laurie Daly.
Boy, that didn't work.
How far will he go with this squad? Kevy is gone, sacked. He comes in. I don't think it will go to plan. But
it did go to plan.
I'm going to give them 10th.
Oh,
It's
awful.
steep. I just think this year is going to be a bit of a... I don't want to say a rebuild. They don't need to blow up the whole team. They don't need to
Oh,
trade players and what have you.
rebuild.
But there's been a lot
What was I
of
saying?
controversy. Ezra Mann, Reece Walsh. It's all going on at the club. This always happens during the off season, the end of the long footy season and that. So I don't know. I'm going to give them 10th. But I honestly would not be surprised if they did shoot up at least another 3 places. So yeah, the Waz, I think so. Unfortunately, I'd love to give them the 8. I really would, but
11th? Yeah, that's awful. Where are they? 6th, so 5 places off. Yeah, man, they really surprised us this year. They had a pretty good season. I thought they'd finish a little bit higher, but yeah, I had them finishing 11th. Obviously, that didn't happen. James Fisher-Harris was really strong for them. Scored the fastest try in the game that we'd ever seen, which was pretty crazy. They were pretty strong at home. They had a few bad games here and there, but yeah, they did enough to make finals. Got knocked out by over 20 points against the Panthers in the elimination final, but they had a pretty good season. They they won games by like less than 4 points, maybe even 6 points on a few occasions. I can think of one when they played South Sydney, and I think I tipped Souths to win. Obviously, Souths lost, so I got that prediction wrong. I think they won by 6 points, and they let AJ get to almost. I think they did. I think they let him get to 200 tries in the game, and Souths almost pulled off a miracle comeback. So that was pretty crazy, letting them back in. But really, they had some good wins. They were entertaining. It was just a little bit disappointing towards the end and at some stages. But there's definitely positivity for the Waz this year. Definitely. And who knows? Maybe they'll go higher, maybe they won't. No, they did pretty well, considering where a lot of people would find them finishing. So no, they've done a good job.
yeah, boy, it was disappointing, wasn't it? Really was. I had them 3rd for 2024. They finished 13th, and I think this will be like a year to, just get things sorted, get things together.
Didn't really need to do
coach,
that.
Great players.
Obviously, Tohu Harris retiring as captain.
One of the best wingers.
That was heartbreaking to hear, the poor guy.
They've been getting great crowds. But Mount Smart just will take some time.
It's no longer called that now. It's called Go Media. I can't keep up all these bloody stadium name changes.
But no, the Warriors, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to give them doubt. They could, once again, some of these clubs, they could just shoot up. Now this.
I'm pretty where did they actually finish? Yeah, that's not that at all. Well, they finished 12th. Did I move them? I want to check. I did. I moved them to 14th. Well, I'll still take that. I pretty much had them in the right position anyway, and I moved them for some reason. Anyway, yeah, I'm happy with my prediction on that one. They finished 12th. I actually moved them. I do remember putting them at 14th. Yeah, odd season, very odd season. Some really forgetful matches. Wasn't that strong at home. Away, yeah, not great either by any means. Yeah, there wasn't really much. Tommy Dearden was certainly a positive spark, and so was, I think, Scott Drinkwater. But other than that, they got quite a few injuries, and they just I don't know. They didn't really do a whole lot, did they? No, they didn't have that good of a season, the Cowboys. So, yeah.
Call me crazy. They finished 5th. They did pretty well in the finals. 12th, you say? Well, yes, I do. I think they're going to struggle a bit. I think they will. They got rid of Townsend. We've got. I don't know why we asked it.
That didn't work out.
Val Holmes off to the Dragons. Carl Felt off to the Super League and retired.
I think that hurted them as well.
Off to the Super League. I think he retired. They still have Tamalolo. He doesn't really break. Okay. I think it's clear to say that he hardly does anything.
You should give the game up.
Honestly, they do nothing. Next one. Yeah, honestly, that's all I can say about the Cowboys. I think I don't know. I honestly don't know. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. Now this one, I am just sticking to my opinion, but I think everybody that talks about Christian Wolf and how he's going to go.
Okay, not the worst, not the greatest. The Dolphins, they finished 9th. They missed out on the top 8 by only like maybe 2 points, beating Canberra by over 30 points in the final round. Of course, it would have been a different story if Souths had shat on our dreams of beating us in the final round by God knows how much. And hey, the Dolphins would have snuck in. I didn't think it would be that close, but yeah, they finished 9th. I had them finishing 13th. I always had, never did I doubt, thinking, no, they won't make the 8. And I was correct. But man, it was really tight. I didn't realise how tight it would be. We pumped them 64 points to 12. That was glorious. I think that just about put a red line through them. And I always had that red line through them basically at the start of the season on making the 8. And yeah, how right I was. I'll take that. 4 points off. Not great. Not the worst. But there is nothing better than crushing this fans, in quotation marks, dreams of, not making the 8. Oh, man. Why do they even bother? But, yeah. No. I'm somewhat happy with my my call.
With the Dolphins after Wayne's left.
Wish we were a little bit closer.
Yeah. I don't buy it for a second. I don't. Because I've seen this with so many clubs. We always hear this. And you know what happens? They probably get sacked within the first...
He didn't get sacked.
Maybe 2 games.
But remember, they did start the season, 0-5. It was looking like he could get the sack. I remember when they first started the season, I was thinking, wow, they're actually doing really shit. I might actually be right about this. And while I'll technically say I was, I mean, I had them missing out on the 8, and I was correct about that. All the other people that were giving them the 8, they need to go and get their brain checked, because you are delusional. You really are. Just stop trying to fucking brainwash people like us into thinking that this side, this fake thing, is going to make the 8. Please, just shut the fuck up. I don't care. God. Jeez, our competition's ruined.
But it takes them like 7 weeks, 8 weeks to realise this is harder than I thought. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Bullshit. I do not believe anything what the media says. They always try and do this with a team, a new team, a team that's been in the comp for a few seasons to get them hyped up. I don't believe it for 1 second, but I think they'll finish 13th. They finished 10th. It could finish higher. Obviously, they'll want to make the 8.